Hello, this is Tom Rowe, Product Evangelist for CentreStack, and welcome to another CentreStack tutorial. Today we're going to talk about something that has been integrated recently called Security Assertion Markup Language SAML Single Sign-On SSO. We've added it to the Mac client, and we had previously added it to the Windows client. Now I'm going to demonstrate how you can integrate single sign-on functionality to your CentreStack installation. So here we go. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to add a new tenant. I'll call it SSO test, and this tenant's going to be called Hadron Cloud. So I need to add a new user. We'll make it a native user. I'm going to add a second new user. I don't know if I'll get around to utilizing this user, but I just want to have more than one when I set this up. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to Group Policy, and under Account and Login, I'm going to go to Single Sign-On. I'm going to enable SAML authentication, and I'm going to collect the URL here under Access Server Provider Metadata using the following link. Okay, so that gives me the metadata that I need to use to connect from my SAML provider to the CentreStack installation. Okay, now I'm opening another tab, and I need to log into my Office 365 account so I can get access to Azure. And once there, I need to go to my admin section. I'm going to go to Admin Centers, Azure AD. And now I'll go to App Registrations. And I'm going to create a new application registration. I'm just going to call this Azure SSO, and now I need my sign-on URL, which I have in that View Source tab, so I'm going to capture that entity ID, and I'm going to paste it right there, and hit Create. It's creating an application. I'm going to click into that application and go to my settings and go to Properties, and here I have an App ID URI, which I need to replace with that entity ID from the source code from my portal. I'll paste that here, and I get a check mark. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Okay, and I can verify that it's good by going to my reply URLs, and there I can see that that URL matches the source code. So we're good. I'm going to slide this window over to the left and go to Enterprise Applications, All Applications. I'm going to select the new application. Now, since this is connected to the CentreStack, I can add the users that I created earlier. I have to be logged in as an admin to do this. So there's my users, user 1 and user 2. Just select those. So I select those two users, and of course any users that you want to give access to, you'll have to put them in here so that they get that authorization. Now choose App Registration and go to Endpoints. And this is where I can copy my metadata URL. I can look at it here at this address and get access to that for plugging into CentreStack. So in this endpoint area, we're going to get our SAML P sign-on endpoint information, which we're going to plug in right here URL of the identity provider. So I capture the name URL and I plug it into email parameter name in identity provider. And now I need to do the same for given name and surname. The last thing is the metadata, where I capture all of the data. I have to view this as source code first, so I can get rid of the formatting. And I copy it and paste it in this metadata field and then hit save. Okay, and that's all we have to do to get single sign-on set up on CentreStack and connected to a couple of users. Okay, now that single sign-on has been set up in CentreStack and we're connected to the Microsoft account, I'm going to open my Windows client, and here, rather than entering my credentials, I'm just going to click single sign-on. And here we have single sign-on again. This is our first attempt at integrating single sign-on into CentreStack. So there's 2 steps, but in future versions we will probably refine that so that it's a single click. I'm going to go ahead and click single sign-on, and now you can see that it's looking at my Microsoft account, and I'm going to click user 1. Now, depending on your browser settings, your password may already be in here. In this browser, the credentials weren't saved, so I'm going to go ahead and enter them here. And now my login is done. I'll wait for this verifying account information window to go away. So you can see I'm connected to my cloud drive, and if I click that, I can see the folder which I can go to, and here I am. I'm accessing my files, and this was done by connecting to my Microsoft account using single sign-on. So I hope that was a good introduction to using single sign-on in CentreStack, and that's it for this tutorial. I'm Tom, and I'll see you in the next one.